The Austin Food and Wine Festival returns November 7th through 9th, and the lineup is insane. VIP tickets include exclusive tastings and access to Made in Texas, a dine-around event on Friday, November 7th, featuring my personal favorite celebrity chefs serving their take on Texas fare. Sunday-only tickets get you tastings and the full chef showcase lineup, which includes Austin's own Kevin Fink and Tavel Bristol Joseph. Plus, there will be one of DJ Mel's legendary dance parties. Tickets are selling fast and are available now at austinfoodandwinefestival.com. Y'all know beer is not my thing, but it's fall and Austin beer season is in full swing. So today on CityCast Austin, we are revisiting a chat with a local beer expert to get into the city's best fall brews and where to find them. It's Thursday, October 30th. I'm Nikki Devon, and this is what Austin's talking about. Hello, I am here with Ruvani Da Silva, a food and beverage writer and expert, winner of the North American Guild of Beer Writers for first place in beer and travel writing. So, like I said, you're award-winning food and beverage writer. You judge international beer contests. You're clearly a renowned beer expert. Is Austin a good city for beer lovers?
Yes. I mean, when I first moved to Central Texas, I was absolutely blown away by the quality of the beer that I was experiencing, by the diversity, and by the enthusiasm of brewers and drinkers here for the beer scene. I think it's certainly at that time was a real undiscovered gem on the national scene. Texas is still hugely, hugely underrepresented. I think in terms of breweries, per capita by population, we're still like 46th or 47th out of all 50 states, which is really, really small considering how big Texas is. But what we do have is, it's really, really up there, definitely.
So now I'm going to admit something. I am not a beer fan. I do not like it. And there have been so many of my friends that are just like, no, you just haven't found the right beer. And I have put in the footwork. I just can't get there. So why do you love beer?
So my sort of interest in beer, my beer journey did start back in the UK. You can probably tell I'm from Great Britain. But I moved here 8 years ago. I was already very involved in UK English cask beer as well as American style craft beer back there. So coming to Texas was really, really good for me to see what was happening here on the ground and get involved in a growing scene where there's so much diversity and so much excitement. So there's a lot to be passionate about. And there are beers to suit, I would say most palates. I've done a pretty good job of convincing a lot of people who didn't think that they liked beer. I used to lead beer tours in London, among many other beer-related things. And we used to have a lot of people on our tours who they came along because their friend liked beer, or they came along because their partner liked beer, or they just wanted to walk around London and go to pubs and breweries. So I would always sort of lead with them, well, what do you normally drink? And then I would sort of riff off of that to find a beer that would be suitable for their palate. So Nikki, what do you normally drink?
So I am normally a bourbon rye drinker for sure.
Excellent.
Yeah. That's my soft spot. That's what feels best for me.
Well, me too. I'm a big fan of both of those. And I actually only really got into bourbon after moving to Texas because I was a big Scotch whiskey drinker back at home. And I thought, that's not going to be compatible. But no, living here, I've gotten really into the bourbon. And I know we're going to be talking a bit about stouts today. And a lot of the Central Texas, Austin Imperial stouts that'll be coming out this winter, a lot of them are aged in bourbon barrels. And a lot of them are aged in local Central Texas bourbon barrels. So that would probably be a good place for you to start. We've got some that are aged in Treaty Oak, Still Austin, Balcones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which really pick up those flavors from the barrels and get that real depth and character that you would find in a bourbon into those stouts.
this is what happens to me. Somebody that's just like charming and talented is like, come on, girl, I got you. I can show you. So maybe I should try a stout. Now, I am on the minority. Most of my friends love beer, especially when we start getting into fall. It's a big season for like different kinds of beer. What are the Austin made seasonal beers that we should be looking for this fall?
We're just coming out of the Oktoberfest season. We are now moving into stout season, and we're going to start getting the first few stout releases and events coming through. We have some very, very big, very exciting ones in the Austin area. One of the first ones is usually Pint House Pizza's Jaguar Shark Day. It's like late November, early December. That is a big stout release day.
I love Pint House. I love Pint House.
You can go on the day. You'll have to queue. Get there early, people. Get there early. And get a flight of all of them. Try them all. They do sell bottles and cans as well, but it's a really, really good. If you get a flight, particularly with very heavy, we're looking at beers that are like 10.5% ABV. So like nice little small pour. That's good.
Wow.
Yeah, you can decide if you like it without making a full commitment, and then if you like it, then you can go in for more. So that's a good way to start stout season out. One of my favourites, although this is not till January, is Jester King's Doomforge Day. So that is an imperial coffee stout, and they like their metal out at Jester King. They make it into a big metal day, and they've got like people with swords and Vikings and tattoo artists.
Nice.
And yeah, they have a whole thing. I think it's something at seven or eight different stouts of their own, plus a few guests from other Texas and outside Texas breweries as well, including one of my favorites, which is called their Funk Metal, which is a sour stout, which that's a bit of a learning curve, but I'm a big fan.
Where is Jester King? It's
out in the hill country, down Fitzhugh Road.
Yeah, and most of their beers are sour, right? Most of them?
About half these days. They do a lot of IPAs, a lot of lagers as well, and they do cover the stout bases pretty well with the Doomforge and the Black Metal, which also has a separate release later in the year. But Doomforge Day, again, it's always packed. It's a good fun party day. And for stout lovers, you can just, get in there, try everything, and just settle in for a day in the countryside.
I was in Ireland, and my friend was like, listen, I know you don't drink beer, but you cannot come to Ireland without having a Guinness. And I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was just the fact that I was in Ireland and there was a beautiful Irish man, serving this gigantic black beer. But I remember tasting it and being like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But I would be honest and say I have no idea what a stout is or an imperial stout or what makes a stout or imperial stout. So can you give us a little crash course on like what is a stout and what's an imperial stout? What's the difference?
Absolutely. So to start with, yes, Guinness is always going to taste better in Ireland. I mean,
okay, good. I don't feel so bad then. Okay.
There's nothing like for any beer, there's nothing like having it fresh from the source. That's why I'm just a big believer in getting out and visiting brewery tap rooms. I mean, it's great to go to HEB, buy your cans and bottles, but the tap room experience and the being in the local environment, that's where beers really come into their own. So in terms of what stouts are, Guinness is a particular type of stout. It's a dry Irish stout. It's a lower ABV than an imperial stout, which is what we've been talking about. So a stout's a type of ale, so that means that it's warm fermented, so it's not cold fermented like a lager. It's usually made with a decent amount of dark roasted malt grains, which give it its colour, texture, flavour. You can get a lot of different varieties. American stouts tend to have a higher hop presence than European ones that you'd get sort of in the UK or Ireland. And imperial stouts, those are the boozy versions. That's what we've been talking about.
Oh, okay.
They don't have to be barrel-aged, although we've been talking about barrel-aged ones. The original Imperial Stout's probably a bit lower ABV, more like 8-9%, and that's just brewed with more ingredients and to a greater alcohol level just on its own without actual barrel aging. But yeah, if you want to start bringing in those really, really fun flavors, then yeah, you can start throwing it in rum barrels, tequila barrels, bourbon barrels, whatever you like, to get some real deep intensity and alcohol. That style apparently was started being brewed in the UK for the Emperor Peter the Great of Russia, which is why they're often called Russian imperial stouts. You might see RIS initials around.
Yeah.
And that's what that means. You get lots of coffee, lots of chocolate, dark fruits, bit of sweetness, but not too much, and lots of booze.
It's so funny that you say that because I literally, when I tasted it, I was like, oh, this is kind of like a milkshake or like it kind of reminded me of a weird boozy milkshake.
Yep.
But
you can get actual milk stouts that are really like milkshake.
What?
That's a whole sub-style.
Oh my gosh. Now I gotta look that up.
Yeah.
So what if I like a lighter beer? Is there anything out there this season for someone who prefers something a little lighter?
So there are plenty of standard stouts which come in at around 5%, which would be the same as Guinness. So that is the same as your average lager. Again, Pint House's Admiral is one that is available year round. But in terms of other locals that you can get, I was going to say Convict Hill by Independence, but that is a bit heavier as well. That's an oatmeal stout that comes in at 8%, but it does not taste like it.
Dangerous.
Yeah, very, very well made beer indeed. But plenty of lighter seasonal stouts out there if you look around, but not so much for the big releases.
Okay,
that's much more a focus on the booze. Also 512's Pecan Porter. That's a really, really great dark beer that you can have all year round. Again, super local. It's got really, really lovely flavor of hill country pecan, beautifully made, and that's only 6%.
Yeah, I have some friends that drink that. We talked about Austin's reputation when it comes to beer, but you just brought up an iconic, because even I've heard of the Pecan Porter. So you just brought up, like, there's some iconic beers that you should just try, and it should be on our radar regardless of the season. Do you have any, like, Austin iconic beer that you're like, man, you got to try this any time of year?
I made a whole list for you, so I don't know how much time we're going to have to go through them. Well, what I'll do is I'll just run you through my list, and then I'll talk a bit more about what I would say would be the top 5. So
perfect.
I've got Live Oak Brewing, Pils and Hefeweizen, Jester King, Atrial Rubicite and Le Petit Prince, 512 IPA Pecan Porter, Real Ale Devil's Backbone Belgian Tripel, St Elmo Carl Kolsch, Celis White, Independence, Stash and Convict Hill, ABGB Industry and Rocket 100, Pint House Electric Jellyfish, Blue Isle Professor Black, and a very honourable mention for Meanwhile's German Pilsner. So I'm going to go back to the start of that list and run you through the top 5, if that's,
Okay, yeah.
So for Live Oak, it was very hard. I couldn't really choose between the Pils and the Hef, so I put both in. I mean, this is the OG Austin brewery. They've been going since 1997. They have the most beautiful space out by the airport. And they were making Czech Pilsner when no one else was making Czech Pilsner. And they have perfected that style. And that is some of the best Czech Pilsner you're going to get outside the Czech Republic. It's absolutely perfect. And their Hefeweizen, also an award winner that, even non-Hef drinkers I would recommend trying. Even if you think, I'm not going to like banana in a beer, that's the place to give it a go. Obviously, it's not actual banana in the beer, but German Hefeweizen has flavors of banana and clove, so you will get that on your palate. Those are both definitely, I would say, real Austin icons. I mean, I have friends all over the country who are like, can you mail me some Live Oak Pils, please? It's so good.
What? That's wild.
Yeah. So Jester King, obviously, they really helped put Austin on the map nationally and internationally. Le Petit Prince, it's the sort of king of table beers, 2.9%. You were talking about what lighter drinkers can drink. If you want to drink a beautifully flavoursome light beer, they've really captured a very traditional European style, made it Texan, using their own proprietary yeast to get a real sense of Texan terroir. And the Atrial Rubicite is their first fruit beer, raspberry, sour, wild ale. Again, it's still always, you look at the sort of like most highly rated beers in the US, you'll often see that on there. It really, really is worth the hype. And again, when they have their release party for that, that's a big day.
Ooh.
You'll see queues down Fitzhugh Road for that one. So yeah,
Love it.
so I definitely would say those. And 512, you said you've heard of 512.
Yeah,
Great local brewery, and both the IPA and the pecan porter. It's kind of like we want to keep them to ourselves in Austin. We don't want to share them. We don't other people want to know how good they are. So we can buy them everywhere in town, but we don't want to give them to anyone else. I mean, they're definitely proper local staples. Real Old Devil's Backbone was one that really blew my mind when I moved here, because I just thought, you're not going to get a beautifully made Belgian Tripel out in the heart of the Texas Hill Country. But you can. So, and again, they've been growing since '96. Absolutely fantastic. They use proprietary Belgian yeast, traditional Belgian brewing techniques to really, really capture the very, very specific spicy phenolic flavours of a Belgian Tripel. I noted down that, like, I love to go to Casino El Camino on 6th Street, drink one of these with an Amarillo burger. So good. Just have it straight out of the bottle. Yep.
Oh my God.
Absolute perfect combination. Or just go out to their tap room, because that's also, a really fun time. The fifth one I've got is St. Elmo Carl Kolsch. I mean, they're super, super new brewery, relatively speaking, 7 years. But they came in, we didn't have an Austin Kolsch. There was no Austin Kolsch. And now it's, again, become a proper staple around town. It's got a fantastic, clean, crushable, on-point flavour. Really, really nice use of German noble hops. And also, if you go to the brewery, the St. Elmo one, on a Monday, it's $2 a pint all day on a Monday.
Oh, wow. So you've been talking about breweries, and I just want to make sure that we kind of go back to it. First of all, I've been to Jester King, and I honestly love Jester King. It's an experience. You go out there just prepared to stay all day, and I don't even drink beer, and I can stay at Jester King all day.
Yeah.
So
it helps to have baby goats. Baby goats always help.
That's right. They have baby goats. So this is two-pronged. Like, one, you've mentioned that you can get some of these beers in the stores, but some of them you have to go to the breweries. And so first off, on your list, can you get those in stores?
I think everything that I put on my iconic list, you can buy in stores.
Perfect.
The only exception will be Atrial Rubicite. You can buy it in stores, but it's only an annual release. It's not being released constantly throughout the year. But when they do release it, they do send it to stores as well.
Okay.
But yeah, everything else, I believe, is available.
Perfect.
All year from stores. Oh, and sorry, ABGB. They only sell from the brewery, but you can buy it to go now in cans. They've been doing that since COVID.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, they do not sell in stores as far as I'm aware. Yeah, everything else, you definitely can.
So let's talk about these breweries, because, Chester, ABGB, are there any that you specifically during the fall, you're like, I'm going to be here, that you want to tell us about?
A couple of places that you will definitely find me is Acapon Brewing, also out in Dripping Springs. They do a great range of full beers. They also do English style cask ales, which is wonderful for me. So I like to go out there on a Sunday and I can have a nice 20-ounce English style pint of hand-pulled dark mild, which is great for this weather because it is dark in terms of its colour, but it's also very, very low ABV. It's about 3%.
Oh, wow.
And it's got really, really lovely dried fruit flavors. So that's very, very enjoyable way to spend a Sunday having a few of those. And they also do have an Imperial Stout release, which will be coming probably towards the end of the year, of their Hands Trap, which is also aged in local bourbon barrel from Crowded Barrel Distillery. And also like an ESB, these very traditional English flavours. Remember that we have cold weather most of the year. So that's, they're all very, very well suited to fall and to winter. All of these sort of very, very English styles that you can try out there. So that's definitely one place that you will find me. Vista Brewing, also out in the Hill Country, is another place where I will be enjoying the full days. They have several really, really lovely stouts that will be released across the winter, including the Treaty, which is aged in Treaty Oak Ghost Hill bourbon barrels, if you like that bourbon.
I do.
I certainly do. And then the Fireside, which is Balcones aged, but they also have Dark Skies Dark Pilsner, which is perfect for fall because it's a lager, but it's dark. So it's only 5%, but it's got that really, really nice, deep, seasonal fullness to it. Again, that's a multi-award winning beer.
Ruvani, you're reminding me of my friend. I have a friend who lives in Chicago named Nikosi, who is just like crazy beer person. Like, he loves beer. He used to host a tour, and you speak about beer the same way he does. You're like, they're these dark, dried fruits flavored, and there's banana, nuts, and like every time I taste a beer, I'm like, where is it? I don't, and I think it's because I don't like the taste of hops. I think that's what I've figured out. It's just like, if something is really hoppy, it just tastes gross. But it's like, I want to taste the dried fruit. I want to be able to taste all these beautiful flavors that you're describing, because you're making it sound so good. For someone who is maybe new to beer, or who maybe is like me and is just like on this quest and has never found the beer, what is like some less hoppier beers that I might be able to like taste these like more defined flavors?
Hops really, really come to the forefront of IPAs. So I would say avoid all forms of IPA completely. A lot of lagers can be very hop forward, particularly German and Czech Pilsners. So you might also want to at least sort of start with a lighter, like an American style lager before moving on to a more European style. But again, they are all very different styles of hops. European hops have very, very different flavors. They're much more floral. They're much more bitter. They've got very different profile to, for example, hops from the West Coast of America, which are probably the ones that you're thinking of. You've had a lot of exposure to. The stouts that we were discussing before, for example, the bourbon barrel aged ones, they do have some hop presence, but I would say that it's not overwhelming, particularly like once they've been in the bourbon barrel. Bourbon barrels, they do tend to soften that. And particularly if you have one with adjuncts added in, for example, like cacao nibs or vanilla beans or something that's been intentionally added to the beer, you will find less of a hop presence in those. Yeah, I think that's probably a good place to start.
Okay.
As you might have noticed with your Guinness, you're not going to have a huge hop presence in a dry Irish stout. So if you want something on the lighter end of the spectrum, ABV-wise, darker beers are a pretty safe place to start.
Okay, then that's what I'm doing. I think I've had it wrong my whole life. I think I've just like automatically assumed that if it's darker, it's more beery or more hoppy. Anyway, you are teaching me and I'm excited. So what are your favorite places in Austin just to drink beer? Like just to pop in and have a beer, whether it's a bar or your living room or a brewery. What's your favorite place to go?
I do like sort of breweries with really, really great outdoor spaces, which is obviously so important living in Central Texas, where you want to enjoy the outdoors, but still be comfortable and still have great beer. Live Oak is definitely one of my favorites. It's absolutely beautiful and expansive. Meanwhile Brewing was very close to where I live, fortunately. I've really, really been very happy to have them in my neighborhood. They have a wonderful space and really, really fantastic beer.
It's huge. I love it.
Love to go out to the hill country, particularly on the weekend. So you can spend a day out there. You can go brewery hopping. You can, get to really try a lot of great beers in different environments. And there's also loads of distilleries out there too, and wineries. So you can just kind of, go have a few drinks, get some food, and just sort of like really get to see and enjoy the hill country going around those breweries. So that's always a really, really fun experience. Bars, probably less so. Like I said, I like to go to the source really for my beer. I do really miss Craft Pride. That was my favorite beer bar.
Oh, I loved Craft Pride. Oh, the truck, the Via 313 truck in the back. Oh my God. Yeah. Craft Pride was great.
You would have found me in there every week because I really loved it there.
I used to be in a band called Mojo Queen, and we used to play in that backyard at Craft Pride all the time. It was great. Their back patio area, top tier. Oh, man. R.I.P. Craft Pride. We miss you. Is there anything else we should know about Austin's beer scene that maybe we haven't covered that you want us to know?
I would just say, if you're a visitor, just don't be afraid. Get out, try everything. We do everything well. I mean, that was one of the things that I really noticed when I was compiling my list of iconic Austin beers, is that we have covered a lot of categories, really, really, really well, to very high standards, and particularly categories that are not necessarily traditional American styles. So I think that we have a lot to offer, and that you will find something to your liking. Also, obviously, we lost a lot of breweries in 2023. I mean, the whole country did. So I would say support your local brewery. If you love it, make sure it's still around. Definitely, whether you're buying in the store or popping in, buy local as much as you can, because these it's our community, and we want to support it.
I love that. The next time we see each other, Ruveni, I will have tried a beer and I will that I like, or at least can appreciate, like one beer. I'm gonna find it, and I'm going to be looking for the cocoa nibs and the bananas and the bourbon and all of the things.
Excellent.
You have really, really made me excited about beer, and that is no small feat. But you make it sound so good.
Good.
Thank you for having this chat with me today. I really appreciate it. This is awesome.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much. And thank you for having me. It's been super, super fun.
That's all for today here on CityCast Austin. You can find links to Ruveni's work in our show notes. And if you enjoyed the show and you like beer, why not tell a friend, rate the show, take them to have a beer, leave us a review together, and subscribe to our Hey Austin newsletter. And if you really like us and you love what we talk about and you love our guests and you love all of the shenanigans we get into, support us. Become a neighbor today at membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye, y'all.